Okay, so I'm not a person who professes to have all the answers about anything really related to guitar, but what I want to do on this channel is share with you what I think is a real experience of what it's like to learn guitar and show you how it is that I've learned various aspects, or even things like today, which are new things for me, which I've started to work on. So today I'm talking about arpeggios and how I think I want to practice them from now on. So one of the problems for me with arpeggios is that the things that I learned were from grade 8 guitar, and the kinds of shapes that I was learning were these big shapes. And then when you come to play sort of things like jazz, you are necessarily kind of dealing with things that are going past that tempo, and this kind of thing, doesn't really, for me, fulfill much musically and is a big shape to fit in anywhere. And for me, it's not doing a whole lot. So what I wanted to show you today is I think it's an idea to have some sort of system around this stuff. So the first thing that you probably want to know is that the major scale, you can harmonize it in thirds, and you end up with kind of 7 chords. So in C major, you'd have C, D minor, E minor, F major, G, A minor, B minor 7, flat 5, and then back to C major. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 degrees of the scale. And we can also harmonize it in 4-note chords, which is what we're going to be dealing with today. So here's my suggestion for what you could do. And I'm going to put together a Patreon sheet for this. We're going to cover it today in C major, and let me just talk you through it as I go. So we're starting off in C major, as I say, and we're going to start off with our C major 7 arpeggio. And what I want you to get the idea of is that you're going to kind of start it at the lowest point on the fretboard, that you can visualize it, and we're also going to be starting with our root note on this D string. So our arpeggios are only going to be dealing with the D up to the E string. And what I want you to try to do is roll up in kind of 4-note So here we're starting on our E, and because we're doing it in these 4-note cells, we get then is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. We get little kind of bits of the C major arpeggio, and we can visualize them in, I think, smaller chunks that hopefully in time may be more useful. So we got the 3rd here, 5th, 7 roots. So you could say those as you're doing it. So 3rd, 5th, 7 roots, 5th, 7 root, 3rd, and then where are we at? 7 root, 3rd, 5th, root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. And then what I think you should do is then move up to the next logical thing. And what I'm trying to do is play it in a way which kind of suits the picking hand. And that is technically kind of sound. So then the next logical shape is going to start from the 5th, right? So here. Cool, so we start from the 5th, 7 root 3rd, 7 root 3rd, 5th, root 3rd, 5th, 7, 3rd, 5th, 7 root. Okay, and then we'll just keep powering through in this kind of way. Then we start on the 7. Okay, and then we jump up, and we're going to be starting from the root here. Okay, now this is the kind of thing that I'm trying to avoid, where I've got this kind of thing, because I'm finding it difficult to shove these fingers in. So I think at speed, that will work better than. So that's what I'm logically thinking in my head anyway. So now we get root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. So that covers the C major arpeggios that are available here, right? So those are the 4. So starting from the 3rd, from the 5th. Okay, start from the 7. Starting from the root. Okay, so then our next degree of the scale would be a D. So we do the same exercise. Now it's going to be with a minor shape, right? So our first string here will be an F, so the 3rd of the D minor. So what do we get here? So a 3rd, 5th, 7, root, up to the 3rd, up to the 5th, okay, and then we can come up to the 5th. This one's a bit of a weird one, so we could do like this. But it gets a bit tricky. So I'm thinking or maybe that one might be easier. So my second one, so my first shape, then my second one, starting on the 5th again, then my third shape, starting on the 7th, then starting on our root, 3rd, 5th, then we can do the same thing with E minor. I'm racing through that one because it's the same shapes as the D minor one. Then our F major is going to be the same thing again as the C major shapes, just starting from different places. So what would we get? We start on F, up to the third, up to the 7. Starting on the 3rd. Starting on the 5th. Starting again on the 7th. Then we get a new one because we've got a dominant 7 on the G on the 5th, so we're going to start on the 7 down here. Whoops. So 7, 1, 3rd, 5th, 1, 3rd, 5th, 7, 3rd, 5th, 7, 1. And that's ballsed up twice in a row now. There we go. So 7, 1, 3rd, 5th, 1, 3rd, 5th, 7, 3rd, 5th, 7, 1, 5th, 7, 1, 3rd. Okay, then we can move up. So starting from our root. Then again up here, so we start now from our 3rd. Okay, now starting from our 7. Then we get our minor. Okay, so now we're on A minor, right? So we can start here. I think I'm going to have open strings there, so maybe I'll start on the 7 instead. Then up to the root. Sorry. Okay, then okay, and then we're up here to the, I'll do it here. And you start to get a feel for what these shapes go like. And then we get our strange one, which is the B minor 7 flat 5. So we start, I'm going to start this from the root actually, because otherwise it's going to confuse me. So we get a B, D, okay, and then we get D and F, A, B. And then we get an F, A, so F, A, B, D. Sorry, this has gone to part. F, A, B, D, A, B, D, F, B, D, F, A. So F, A, B, D. And then we're back to C. So those are the shapes that I'm going to be practicing from now on. And you know, I could do this in every key because I've got this kind of pad preset. So I could do it in A. Then we could move to F minor there, then moving up to a closer chord for B minor, then I'm going to jump to the fifth, the E, so I think you can see, so this is something I literally started practicing yesterday. I think you can see there's potential there that technique-wise, those fit under the fingers quite nicely, and I think are a good amount of notes. So yeah, maybe give that a try. I'm going to put the Patreon worksheet together for this, but I think that's something I'm going to start doing every day so that I have these more uniform shapes that I'm practicing for arpeggios in a systematic way through the major scale and through the strings, through the inversions, and hopefully then I'll be able to join them up in a more musical way that will make sense for improvising, because technique-wise these are fairly solid under my fingers. Hopefully that's vaguely interesting and not a total waste of your time. Let me know in the comments if you've got other ways that you practice arpeggios, or if you've seen this done by someone else. I'm using my pad presets here on the Helix to get the backing kind of. But I think it could also make part of a really good warm-up. So I'll catch you in another video soon, and cheers.